Artisan fan Koa asked, how do you come up with the ideas for the artwork for the albums? This time around, we knew that we thematically were going to be in the 1920s version of the future. And people are correct in the assumption that it's inspired by the film Metropolis. Yes, because Metropolis is like the epitome of 1920s Futurama. So, yes, to simplify it, we can just call it Metropolis inspired, but it was inspired by many, many things from that era. The idea for the cover was primarily to have that, I'm sure that there's a nice phrase for it, but when you have two paintings in one, when you do this, it doesn't look the same as when you do that. So there's a perspective in there. So there was supposed to be one physical Papa in form of a statue in this super urban environment. And when you sort of looked from it from afar, it was supposed to be Papa's head again. This also because there are so many people nowadays that consume music on a little TV screen or even worse, like a telephone. So that goes against a little bit of the idea for us to jam in a lot of info and a lot of like detail into the cover. So in order for us to do both, we needed to have like one clear, simple version of the cover, which is just Papa's head, and then one. If you actually buy the album, you obviously get a lot more detail in there. That is why most artists nowadays just do a black one with an X on it or something like that, or a green one with an X on it, just because it's simple for peoples. The Artisan fan, the guy with the Jufro, asked about the inspiration for Cerise. The original piece, the beginning of Cerise, was originally connected with Devil Church. It was supposed to be almost, I told you, with the idea of possibly making an instrumental piece. It was not necessarily something that would have been like a verse, chorus piece. So for a long time, those two were connected. But as the verse grew, there was basically an abundance abundance. There was an absence of like a next part. It needed to sort of move into a bigger part, which is basically a way to go around. We're trying to we circled around the idea that it needs a chorus. That was basically it. And once the chorus came into the song, basically that ruined the whole idea, because all of a sudden you had this massive chorus that completely colored the intro, and it didn't really work out to have a 2-minute intro to a song that ended up being basically as good as Cerise was. So we had to cut Devil Church out and call that Devil Church, so that was a separate piece, and Cerise had to be like it's an autonomous piece of music that, it was still like 6 minutes long, so it's not commercial, but still, you have to treat a song a little bit better than to give it a 2-minute intro. And lyrically it is a combination between seduction and religion.